It's not about the money to say or saying like, oh, I'm a millionaire. Like, no one cares. But it's about the time and spending time with my family, my kids, and building a legacy. Today, my goal is for everyone to have a sheet of notes by the time I'm done talking. I'm going to be talking about 10 habits of success, unlocking your path to achieve any goal. I know everyone is going through they're in different industries, but these principles should be able to relate to everyone. This is the agenda, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about me, my story, time, habits that will increase your chance of success, time management, brainstorm, so if you have a sheet of paper, that would be great. It's not the destination, it's the journey, finding hobbies, side hustles, the importance of having a vision board, discipline, discovering your why, and then some quotes from Jim Rohn and other recommendations. Hi, my name is Damon Cameron. This red building here is my earliest childhood memories. My mom had me in high school, so at a very young age. This is a women's shelter. So this is my earliest childhood memories growing up here. Thankfully, I was able to see throughout the years my father and my mother go through high school, go through college. My dad is in finance. He has his master's in finance, and my mom has her bachelor's in social work, and she's also an entrepreneur. So that's kind of where I got that spirit of entrepreneurship. My parents taught me three big things. Number one, a strong work ethic. Number two, my mom used to always say, if I can have you in high school and bring you to class and go through high school and college, there's no excuse. Third and final thing my parents taught me was, ever since the age of 14, when I started working, you have to put 50% of every paycheck in a bank account and don't touch it. So I've kept that tradition for many, many years. I graduated high school with over $15,000 in my bank account, working at McDonald's, Burger King, wherever I could work. When I graduated college, while many of my peers had $30,000, $40,000 in student loan debt, I had $30,000, $40,000 to go towards another rental property. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, where I kind of learned the hustle. How many people have been to Atlanta? Wow, okay, wow. So it's yes. So you guys know there's a lot of flash, a lot of hard hustlers down there, a lot of hardworking entrepreneurs down there doing their thing. And that kind of inspired me as well when I was in Atlanta, seeing people that look like me driving Benzes and Rolls Royces and dressed up in suits and things like that. That's why I'm a little overdressed today. This woman here changed my life. So my freshman year in college, during winter break, like many freshmen, I didn't know why I was in college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And this woman here is Taryn Peterson. She's one of the top realtors and real estate investors in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. During my freshman year of winter break, I would go to her house and she taught me about real estate. So she inspired me to get into the game of real estate early on because I saw that she was able to travel and do what she wanted to do. I love my parents to death, but they were working on a Wednesday. She was in her bed at 2 in the afternoon, and I wanted to be in my bed at 2 in the afternoon. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin, Whitewater, majoring in information technology and computer science. And then a couple of months later, I got my real estate license. So I'm a computer engineer, I have my real estate license, and I'm a landlord. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is time. So the importance of time. So Steve Jobs has a very, very inspirational quote that if today were your last day of your life, would you want to do what you are about to do today? And I know it's very cliche, but the reality is we're all gonna die one day. The average life expectancy of a human is 75 years old. We don't have time to waste. And that's coming from a 23-year-old, which we don't have that much time left on this planet. So it's important that we value every day. Every day is an opportunity to make progress towards whatever your goals are. If you change your habits, you will change your life. So I'm very big into personal development. I'm very big in general on just becoming the best version of myself. So mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, relationships, everything. Just striving to be the best Damon I can be, and I've just fell in love with that journey. I'm very big into personal development. Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, those guys, Wesley Virgin, a lot of those guys, motivational speakers. In changing our thoughts, habits, and beliefs, I've discovered early on that a lot of us have a lot of negative, limiting, self-sabotaging thoughts, habits, and beliefs that are holding us back from achieving our goals. You have to recondition that. So just like you all know your name, you were taught that through repetition, so you can reprogram your thoughts, habits, and beliefs and eliminate those negative ones that are holding you back. Meditation is one habit that I applied a couple years ago that has drastically changed my life. Just clarity, planning out my day, and learning how to manage stress, which we will talk about on the next slide, and then working out as well. It's been proven that people that work out are more resilient than those who don't. And it makes sense. You know, you're tearing that muscle every time you're working out and rebuilding it stronger. Working out is beneficial, not just physically, but also mentally. Stress tolerance. So we're all here for a reason. A lot of us are doing very well or are in the early stages of whatever industry we are in. But one thing I want to share that it's going to be stressful, as you all know. And it's important that you build that skill of having a high stress tolerance. And how do you do that? Practice. So whenever you're going through adversity, whenever you're going through a hard time, reframing that and taking that as, this is making me more resilient. This is improving my skill of resilience, because you're gonna need that in whatever industry you're in. So that's kind of how reframing how you look at setbacks and adversity has changed my life, and making sure you're getting the proper sleep. I will admit, my college years, I did like to party, like a lot of people, but I've learned that it's important that you get good sleep, because going back to time, if you get enough sleep, you will be able to maximize the time that you're awake to be more productive. And then just a little quote, your daily routine matters. You are building your future self. My mentor, he's very, very successful. He always says, most 20-year-olds are messing around, and they just don't know that you're building your future self today based on your thoughts, habits, and beliefs. So it's very important that you're intentional on that, because you're building your future self right now as we speak. So this is the time management breakdown I wanted to do really quickly. Another mentor had me do this. So there's 168 hours in a week. There's 4 things that all of us have to do, right? We have to sleep, we have to work out or do some sort of physical activity, and then we have to spend time with our family and our spouse, right? There's 168 hours in a week. You want to calculate how many hours a week are you sleeping, how many hours a week are you working, how many hours a week are you working out or doing some sort of personal development, and then how many hours a week are you spending with your family or your spouse or significant other. So you take 168 minus whatever that is for you, and that number there is how much time you're wasting. So when I did this exercise, I had about 40 hours that I was wasting scrolling TikTok, social media, doing what any 20-year-old does. And when I did this exercise, I immediately cut that in half and added that to work. So I work no less than 60 hours a week at my full-time job now. That's my new standard. Because I want to maximize the amount of time I have. I don't want to waste time. When we see it, it's one thing to talk about it, but when you actually see like, oh, I'm literally wasting time. I'm wasting 40 hours. That's not managed. I'm not doing something outside of the 4 things, like I said, we have to do. It's not the destination, it's the journey. This was a huge thing that I had to overcome, because I am one of those people that are impatient. How many people are a little impatient? Yeah. So I'm the same way. So I had to learn early on, it's not the destination, it's the journey. It's the person that you're becoming in the process of achieving your goals, because that finish line will always move. When you reach it, I don't know any successful person that reached their goal and then they just stopped. They threw the finish line, extended even more, and you keep going. So it's who you're becoming in the process, the man or woman that you are becoming on your journey to success. It's not the destination. Also, I wanted to say, comparison is the thief of joy. Never compare yourself to the next man or the next woman. We are all on our own journeys. We are all on our own chapters in our life. So it's very important that you don't compare yourself. I used to do that a lot, and I learned early on that's the thief of joy. I wasn't happy. Compare yourself to where you were last year, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, because at the end of the day, it's you versus you. Finding hobbies. So it's very important. I remember earlier, I believe yesterday, someone said something about finding a way to enjoy the journey, and I found that through traveling. So I love to travel. This is me in Cancun last year. I love traveling, meeting different people. It just opens your mindset. I see a lot of people have a very small thinkers because they don't get out of their hometown. They don't travel. And it can be uncomfortable, but just like anything else, you will get used to it. And it's just so many benefits to that. So traveling, I love to travel. This is me in Miami. I love also social media marketing. So now I've started building social media marketing, because now I'm at the point where, again, I'm impatient. And the banks are saying that, oh, you have to wait this many months. And I'm saying, I'm not waiting. So I built my personal brand, and I've been able to attract private money lenders who are helping me grow my real estate portfolio, partnering with me and things like that. So never take no for an answer, and there's always a way. There's nothing new on the planet. We're not the first set of humans on this planet. So anything that you're going through, someone else is going through. So just finding a way. I wrote a book, How Anyone Can Get Started Investing in Real Estate. So I love writing books, and I love working out. I'm very big into working out and fitness. Finding a side hustle to replace your 9 to 5. So I know some people said that they like their 9 to 5. I think Aldo said that. I'm with you. I do enjoy what I do. I love computer engineering, but for those that don't enjoy their 9 to 5, that are a little bit more motivated, you have to find a side hustle to replace your 9 to 5, whether that's stocks, funds, real estate, whatever it is. At the end of the day, you need to find a way to find a side hustle to replace your 9 to 5 income. And I've done that through real estate. So this is one of my properties that I bought last year, July. It's a 5-bedroom, 2-bath. I rent out each room to travel nurses. I'm downtown Indianapolis, next to 6 Fortune 500 companies and hospitals. So rooms rent quickly. The benefits of real estate real quick: cash flow, appreciation, principal pay down. I'm not a CPA. So the last part, I'm not a CPA, but there are some tax benefits as well. So I've resorted to real estate investing to replace my 9 to 5 income. I don't think I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna be honest, but it's just good to have that option to work. You know, once I start having kids and start raising a family, which is gonna be down the road, I wanna have the option to be able to go to my kids' basketball games, football games, practices, whatever they need me for. I wanna be able to drop my kids off at school. Those things matter to me. I wanted to, okay, so yes, you need a vision board. If you don't have one, I highly recommend one. It's changed my life completely. I've had a vision board since 2019, and everything from 2019 when I started to present day, all of it's checked off and beyond. Kind of the saying that if you're driving from California to New York, how are you gonna get there? A map. Same thing in your life. If you don't have a vision board, you don't know where you're going, you're just drifting. So it's important that you sit down with yourself and create a vision board for where do I see myself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and then break that down like to 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 6 months from now to reach where you're trying to go. I go on Google Slides and I just go on the internet and I say, what do Damon want? And I Google it and I put it on the vision board. And what a lot of people don't realize is, just like if you say, I'm having a bad day, your brain is gonna go to work to find every reason to justify what you just said. Your brain doesn't know the difference between positive and negative. It's just going with whatever you're saying. So if you say, I have a bad day, then your brain is unconsciously gonna think of that. That's kind of how I do the vision board, and then I review it like 2 times a day. It's amazing the power of the brain. Like, your brain will go to work to figure out how to make that happen. The next one was discipline. So discipline is very important. I've learned discipline is what separates those who achieve their goals and those who don't. Discipline to me means being willing to do what you have to do regardless of how you feel. So there's a lot of times where you don't feel like doing something, but you have to have the discipline to do it regardless of how you feel. That's what's gonna separate those who achieve success in whatever your adventure and those who don't. All right, your why. So how many people have a why? This is probably the most important slide in my entire presentation. You have to have a why for what you're trying to accomplish. If you don't have a why, it's very, very highly that you're not gonna achieve it. Because there's gonna be times where things are hard. There's gonna be times when you don't wanna do something. And if you don't have a why, you're not gonna make it. This is my why. This is my grandmother. She passed away 3 years ago. Like I said, my mom had me young, so I spent a lot of time with grandma. So when she passed away, it was hard for me, but she's my why. When I wake up every day, I do it for her. I strive to be the best version of myself for her and to live on her legacy. When times get hard, I just think of grandma, and whatever's in my way, I'm getting through it. That's just my mindset. I don't care what it is, I'm getting through it. 2 quotes I wanted to share that are huge in my life. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because if you work hard on your job, you're gonna make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. You can design your life, you can create your life. And then if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. How many people, by show of hands, know someone that has been talking for years, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna do that, and they haven't done anything? Don't be that guy, don't be that girl. Are you committed to your goals? So this slide is a little thing my mentor also taught me, is there's a group of people that want success. So whatever industry you're in, there's 8 billion people on this planet. There are people that want what you want, but then there's people that are committed to getting what you want. And those that are committed will always bypass those who want, because everyone wants something, but they're not willing to do what it takes, to persevere when times get hard, to self-develop, to fail and fail forward, and not take failure as pity or looking down or beating yourself up, but moving forward. So ask yourself, am I a wanter or am I committed to what I want? Meaning you're willing to do whatever it takes, getting up early, staying up late, working overtime, whatever it is. Social media, for those that are in real estate, I highly recommend you build your social media. It's helped me tremendously with getting private money lenders and just building my brand and networking. We're more in a digital era now that COVID happened, everything is more digital now. So it's very important that you build your brand if you want to scale any business or, your real estate portfolio or whatever you're trying to do. And then some recommended resources I have here, 3 books. First, Dan, his book, First to a Million, taught me about, it's a great financial book for teens. When I read it, it helped me. I made some changes to my finances. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a classic. And then Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, just changing your mindset. It's a very good book as well on determining 18 different ways poor people think differently than rich people, and just applying that with affirmations and things like that. And that is the end of my presentation.